YouTube, this is Bayu here. I know my cameraman, my producer is showing you the top of my desk with 3, 1, 2, 3. Eyes wide dry. All of these is the same vegetables. The plátano, in English is called a plantain. Our Mexican brothers call it plátano macho. This cannot be eaten raw. You have to either fry them or boil them. You have to cook them. I'm gonna pick a fight with the young, no brain Spanish prepper that don't have plantain in their continent. Okay? Because they don't know how to eat it. And basically, let me explain this to you from the Americas plural perspective. In the north, corn is the king. Then you go to Mesoamerica, still corn is the king. But if you move to the Caribbean, the yuca, mispronounced in English, yaca, is the king. Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, they all eat yuca. That's the main dish. The Cubans are very famous yuca with garlic paste and pork. Delicioso. And then you go to South America, the Caribbean part, a piece of Colombia, a piece of the whole Venezuela actually, and the 3 pieces of territory that technically, so you might get upset, but we in South America don't count. Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana. They're not involved in Latin America, in South America, Latin America. We're pushing to the Caribbean. You know why? Historical fact. Actually, they're not even in the with FIFA in CONCACAF. They're part of the they're not part of the CONMEBOL. 10 countries, South America, and they are part of the CONCACAF, the Central American and Caribbean group. That's a fact of life. So, this is green, okay? You only eat this fried. If you cut it in pieces and you fry it and you put some lard, pork fat, and then a piece of support, you got the very famous Dominican and Puerto Rican, what is it this that you like? Mofongo. That's very Caribbean, very Caribbean. Now this is called the Pintone, which is eaten in Central America, in El Salvador, in a little bit in Costa Rica, especially a black population in Central America. Not quite the Indians, but the people in the coast where you get regular bananas, they have this. And the dark one. Now, if you ask a European or any Yankee over here, they probably say throw this away because it's very dark, a little bit what's the word?
Shriveled.
Shriveled. But it's no flies, no fruit flies, and then it's nice. Now, this is used in Ecuador especially. This is what the Argentinians, the southern part of South America, call Ecuador the bananeros, because Ecuador still is the first country with banana production, which nowadays has a problem because of volcano. Actually pronounced Shanghai, not Shanghai that some people in English call it. Shanghai. It's not Spanish, it's not English, it's Quechua. Okay, so the volcano is ruining the whole plantain farms around the area, and it is a mess. Okay, so what do we do with these? This is boiled about 10 minutes because it's so ripe that 10 minutes so it comes apart, and that's precisely what you want to do. It is very, very sweet. Actually, I cannot eat this, diabetic people, because blood sugar can go way up to the roof. Over 240, yes, and one small 8 ounces of. So you boil it, you get the potato masher, the typical potato masher, you squash it. You can put, if you want, a little bit of cinnamon, you can put spices like the not the regular black pepper producer, but the big one is called
Nutmeg?
no, like the black pepper, same texture, but it's a little bit bigger.
Allspice.
Allspice. I can never remember allspice, and a little bit of cloves. And you boil it for 10 minutes. Once you do, you take all the spices out, and then you smash it, and you put milk. You don't have to put sugar because it's already sweet. And if you want to, you can put a few raisins if you want to, or you can put a little bit of chocolate chip. See, this is a very typical Latino food, especially for kids. You can add whatever you want to, as long as the kid like it. But don't go put peanut butter because you're gonna get slapped silly. So milk and any other little things that it will make the kid like it because it's very sweet. Once you taste it, we'll eat it up like there's no tomorrow. Now, a lot of people have problems dealing with this because it's hard to cook because they are not familiar with. So I'm going to show you the basic steps to deal with a plantain. Okay, you cut the top, you cut the bottom, and producer, what's the right verb? You go score. I keep saying gore. You score then in each side of the plantain. Okay. This has to be done, otherwise you will never be able to peel it off. Don't argue, just follow instruction. Now, if you are Caribbean, Puerto Rican, what they do is they cut it, just like this, and then you boil the whole thing in a pot. After 5 minutes, the peel basically come off with no problem. But since we're not going to boil this, we're going to fry it. We're going to start the video and we're going to see how we fry it. We make the famous tostones or patacones, depends where you come from. I know my Spanish class has an issue with why different words mean the same thing, because it should go according to the region. Remember, Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world. First language, okay, L1. Chinese is not, because they speak 3 different Chinese. Even you got classic Chinese and new Chinese, so by the millions is not the first language. And so is the deal with Hindu. They speak over 250 languages in India. They're not dialects, they're original languages. So that's why Spanish is over close to 520, 550, 18, something like that, 515 million. Now, it's peeled, okay? So this is what you want to do. If you want to fry it and make tostones, you cut it about maybe 1.5 inches, okay? Maybe 1.5 inches, but never bigger than that, because you have to double fry it, and I'll tell you why you double fried it. Okay, now this is the way you cut and prepare. See how easy it is? Nothing wrong with your fingers, you didn't get cut, nothing. You have to cut the ends and then score it. Now with this one, it's the same process, okay? We're not going to do this now, but we're going to do it in the next video, how to make chucula, which is very good for kids. Like in the northern part of the U.S., southern part of the U.S. and northern Mexico, they use the atole, which is made out of corn. In South America, they use this. Their version of the atole is not called atole because it's not corn, but it's plantain. Okay, guys, we're going to stop it over here. We're going to go to the kitchen and show you how we fried it. Ready, producer? Okay, YouTube. So basically what I'm doing is putting the plantains inside of a pan full of oil. Okay, it has to be hot. And what we're going to do, we're going to rotate that to over here. We have a plate with a couple of paper towels, though, because you want to drain the oil out of the stuff. Okay, we're going to okay, this one. I like to use a wooden spoon. It's a little burnt because we don't use metal in this type of pan right here, steel pan. So you fry it in about what? 2-3 minutes, and then you rotate it, you flip it, and then you're gonna put it in a plate.
Go.
Okay, YouTube, I was talking with my producer. The plantain is a vegetable the United Nations package and give to the countries that need food. And the Africans use this vegetable, the plantain, to make the famous fufu, F-U-F-U, fufu, which is a big paste, the style, that's the African style, not the Latino style. But it's basically the same process, the same principle. They bake them, I think, a little bit. They pre-cook the plantain, and then they make a flour with it. Okay, so once it's about 3 minutes on both sides, you do not allow them to get brown right now. Okay, you get brown, you have problems. It does not look appropriate. It has to be nice and yellow. And remember, no more than 3 minutes on the side, because it has to be double fried. So you reduce a little fry on 7. You bring it over here to your table, and this is what we're gonna do. I like to use a little bit of paper towel. Then you put it over here. I don't have the proper equipment, the tostonera. We live in Texas, so there's no. And just mashing a little bit like that. Okay, a little bit, not too much, because it will fall apart. This is how the famous tostones or patacones they start to be. Let me get a little bit wider, so I don't want to. And then you put it back into the pan. Okay, always keeping an eye that you do not burn them. I got it on 5. So this is very easy to make, especially nowadays. They run two for $1. That they can get expensive sometimes of the year, but plantain, especially from Ecuador, Colombia, Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, it's all year around product. I hope the noise is not too loud for you guys. But that's the process, okay? That's the process. You have to see, this is not fried too much, and you see what happens. So you have to make sure you do it at least 3 minutes on this side. Once you got 3 minutes, you flip them, rotate them. Now they're getting a little bit of dark golden brown. Okay? So what you do is now you move the plate back on the side, and you get the wooden spoon. And this is instead of rice and instead of beans, it has all the starch and lots of vitamins. If you go look about the plantain vitamins and essential elements, that's what the UN has it as emergency food for people. Now, if you are in the cold countries, or you're part of the Six Sisters, you probably underestimate or probably kind of put down this food. But for the rest of the world, the Africans, the Asians, and all the Latinos, plantain is a main dish. Okay? And it can be cooked in 15 minutes, it's done. Now, how do you serve it? You put it on a plate with a little bit of butter on top, okay? A little bit of butter, a little bit of cheese, the white, you can put mozzarella. I mean, you can ruin the flavor with mozzarella, but you can do it. You can do the white creamy cheese. You can do cream on top of it, Salvadorian style. But the Salvadorian, like I said before, they eat it like maduros, like in between green and black. that little funny color, yellow color, that's the Salvadorian styles. And believe me, a plate like that, even here, is almost $6 for about what, maybe 6 or 8 pieces. So it is not cheap if you go to in a restaurant. But if you go to the supermarket, you find it 2 for $1 green, and you allow them to ripe to become ready to ripe by itself. So this is basically how to fry plantain, South America style. So YouTube, the double frying has been done. The seasoning of the plantain has been done. A little bit of butter and a little bit of special cheese on top. You can put whatever type of cheese you like. And as my producer, sir, I better give my half, or you are not going to get the movie. So let me show in the camera a close up, and then let the producer get it. This was specially done because most of the people, a big majority are Asians, or my subscribers, and a few Latinos. I don't know how many Europeans. I don't have the numbers yet, but to the Spaniard preppers, don't, just because your country doesn't have it, don't underestimate, because the UN probably feeds some of you hungry people with this, not as a whole, but as a flour, in the flour element. And remember, fufu. If you find in the Asian supermarket or African supermarket those boxes with the big bowl, African style, and then you see the word fufu, F-U-F-U, with this type of like a dough made out of a plantain. This is basically what it is, and you can mix it with water or milk and cook it. And then the only problem is they use it with the hand. That's for us it's inappropriate, but to eat it, you basically just pick it up, make sure that it's cold, little cheese, a little butter, and you eat it like a cracker, pardon me. Like a cracker, like a donut, and with a cup of coffee. Okay, now, if you're in the Anglo part of the Six Sisters population, can you put a little bit of jelly? Yes. As long as they eat, you show the kids how to eat it. You can put a lot of stuff in there, even peanut butter, yucky butter. If they like peanut butter, just put peanut butter on top of it. At the beginning, you have to make them like it, and if you peanut butter or peanut butter and jelly, and instead of bread, because you don't have bread, and this is cheaper than two of these big ones right there for 50 cents a piece. Hey, it's cheaper. So economic wise, this makes sense, especially if you have a limited budget when it comes to food, and this is perfect. If you eat these every day, you have no problems. Once in a blue moon, you can put a piece of meat, even bologna, which is a low quality beef, but hey, or as the Dominican do it, they do this for breakfast with the chorizo, not the Mexican type of chorizo, but the Dominican type of chorizo. You fry it and put on top of it. Hey, you have all the requirements, vitamins and minerals and starch and the whole 9 yards, and just with the breakfast. The more you eat, the more you have. Okay, you do short and sweet. Do not underestimate the power of plantain. Remember, when the corking stop, then the yuca pick up a little bit, and then the plantain in South America and part of Nicaragua is plantain. So the southern part of Central America and on down, plantain is the king, and the corn goes second nature. Okay, thank you for watching. Behave. I'll talk to you later. Let me go ahead and eat some more.